Well, good morning and welcome to another Casual Connect. We were just talking about how long it was ago when there was the first Casual Connect here in Amsterdam when I was there, and I think it was 2006, so that's like 9 years ago. And wow, the industry has been ever changing since then. And when we got here 2006, the big business models were games that you can download at Big Fish or the PopCap games and try them for 30 or 60 minutes and then make a decision and buy them for like 20 bucks, and about 12% of the people were doing so. And after the end of the new economy, that was a pretty good way to monetize people again. And we were full of creative games, great concepts, and the Casual Connect was full of creative game developers. Most of what we would nowadays call indie developers. And yeah, obviously the industry has changed, and the question is, are we doomed to be evil? So if we look at our industry 2015 today, there's reason to believe that we are, with our industry, fucked. We're completely fucked, and I'm going to tell you in the next few minutes why we are at that stage. The thing is, our industry has become bad. Society's view of our industry has become bad. And I'm not sure what exactly you work on, but if you've been telling your friends, your family lately, or just the girl you met at the bar about the jobs you're doing, I'm doing casual games. Oh, it's like Candy Crush Saga? And you're like, yeah, more like Clash of Clans, and they're like, mm-hmm. Well, if we want to see how society looks at our industry at the moment, there is jobs out there that have good karma. There might be shitty jobs, but at the end of the day, you go home and you have some dignity. Then there's other jobs that have bad karma because you do something wrong with your audience. And yeah, you can deal drugs, you can be a politician, or you can do free-to-play casual games. It's not me that's talking about it. If you look at the latest show of South Park, they did a pretty fun piece, and I just cut it together to 1.5 minutes for you, just to see how they see it, and let's hope it works here.
The Terrence and Philip mobile game. You've collected 10 Canadian coins. Congratulations! Hey, you're really good at this, guy. You bought 200 Canadian coins for 49 cents. You're amazing!
Who makes this crap? For years, the concept behind gaming was simple. You pay for the game and you enjoy.
Freemium. The meum is Latin for not really.
Money, 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 money.
It's what everyone is doing. Freemium games are what's now. And it's all just a lot of harmless fun.
And so in conclusion, the successful freemium game is based on 5 principles. Entice the player with a simple game loop. Use lots of flashing cha-chings and compliments to make the player feel good about themselves. Train the players to spend your fake currency. Offer the players a way to spend real currency for your fake currency.
So they'll forget they're spending money.
And make the game about waiting. But let the player pay not to wait. It's a surefire way to make lots of money.
Is it my responsibility what people decide to do with their free time? How do you get people addicted to crack? You give it away for free. You give away a little taste, and then some people can't stop themselves.
You didn't build a mobile game. You built an addiction machine. The truth is, a very small percentage of people who download freemium games ever pay anything for them. It's all about finding the heaviest users and extracting the most amount of cash from them. But then all our profits come from people with problems. Don't think about that. Think about all the money. Here, have a bump of coke.
But we've got our eyes on every addict's screen. Every button they click, we get feedback on how to shove this shit right down their throats.
All right, this is how they see it. It's true, like 1/3% make like more than 50% of the money, and there is a lot of people with problems. And looking at players, what we're trying to do is we try, well, not to give them a great time, like we initially did. We are monetizing them. We're trying to get as much money out of the player as possible, and that's what the job of a game designer has become. And that's pretty shitty. And this is how people start seeing us. If we look at casual games 2015, what is out there, it's crap. It's a lot of crap. It's like 3, 4 different game principles. We use different characters, we use different sounds, we use different setups. It's all the same thing. And what we're doing as well, we're just selling games to children like Disney's Hidden World. I think it's so disgusting, guys. And we sell them $100 packages of fake currency, make their parents pay for the kids, and also make their parents pay because we can easily manipulate them. And what we are working with is the thinking of the gambling industry. And if you look at the people that came into the show over the last few years, a lot of people are here with backgrounds in the gambling industry. And yes, this is how we make our money these days. The one big change that came in the industry, and that was actually something that was a game changer, was Apple's App Store a few years ago. And Casual Connect was full of people that did create great games as apps, sold them. They gave it away for free as well, so people could try for a while, and they could make good money. So Casual Connect was really full of people delivering good content and at the other end making money with it. In 2012, Apple bought a company called Chomp, and after that, there was somebody new in charge, and it still is, that really changed the search algorithm of the app stores. So it was not only 2012 that free-to-play took over as a business model, it was also 2012 when paid apps suddenly disappeared from the search result. So if you could look for a trivia game, or a Sudoku game, or a solitaire game, in May 2012, you would have free results and paid results. By the end of 2012, there were only free results. If you want to do a little search on the App Store, it's not only down to games. Anything that you will search for, like a good app for golfing or whatever your favorite pastime is, you will only get free results. So the problem that Apple gave us after that initial blessing is that good content became hard to find. Other mistakes that Apple made, unfortunately, is nowadays, if you launch a new title and believe on the audience finding it good, new titles don't get traction at the moment. They don't get visibility. You just throw them into 1 million other apps in the App Store, and they will not be found. So at the moment, for game designers, it's not a good time. If you look back on society, how society looks at us, if you have kids, and if you want to buy something good and educational and fun for them, you don't look for stuff on the iPad anymore, because it's all crap that you find, and it's all free to buy, trying to monetize. You go back to the bookstore and pay $30 for a good educational book. This is what you do. So this is a very typical audience that we had a few years ago and that we have lost. And I know that the people that are in those industries coming from the book side, having had invested a lot in interactive titles, they've gone back to buying and selling books. Another thing is, and we have to be really aware of that, with all that free-to-play crap that we are delivering to the audience at the moment, we have lost a big part of it. Yes, we make money with a very, very small percentage, but at some point, people are sick of what we're delivering, and it's no creativity that we have at the moment. So as a result of that, we have lost a lot of them, and in the next couple of years, we're going to lose another big part of them, because at one point in time, we will realize that people are not stupid. There's stuff like call-in shows. You remember call-in shows when you just had the TV stations full of them? You know, it's like a flu. It's something that's not good, and it goes away because at some point, people don't want it anymore. The problem that we have at the moment is that there's no distribution channel for good karma content. If you look at websites that were working a while ago, and they still do in a smaller scale, like Big Fish Games or Wild Tangent, and where you can really monetize good content, the audience is too small at the moment. And with the App Store being in such a desolate state, it is very, very hard, not to say impossible, to have good content that does not manipulate people to reach the audience at the moment. So, in a way, we are back in the dark ages. And if you want to make money in this industry, you have to walk down the road, manipulate your audience, try to milk a tiny percentage out of it, show the rest of them ads. It's not good software, but this is the way that is left to make a living. So it's like, Thorsten, don't complain, go with the times, accept that free-to-play is the one thing that will be there in 50 years. I don't think so. If we look at other industries, in the last 5 to 10 years or longer, I think they've been doing pretty good. So people are still reading books, and they're still spending a lot of money on content. Even if with some book chains, they're closed because their distribution channels are different. But if you want to buy good quality content, these days, you buy a book rather than any casual game. And if you look at the numbers of the industry, you can see that this industry is changing. So there's more ebooks, and there's less print and audiobooks in total sales. But if you sum up the total sales, it stays the same. So we have an audience that keeps paying and is very happy to pay for premium content in this way. And it's something that you pay up front. You don't want to read a book where you just like, you turn the page and then she touched her, and then you, okay, now I have to pay. Or she closes the door again, whatever. It's not there, and it's sometimes good that mediums are not interactive. If you look at movies, there might be a lot of sequels and Marvel things at the moment, but the industry works. People are keeping paying, and 5 to 10 years there will be something else than Marvel comics, but it's an industry that's quite doing well in staying alive, and it's entertainment on a screen. That's the stuff we compete with. And then there's even new industries emerging where people are really looking forward to great content, to something that is intellectually great. House of Cards, who's not looking forward to the next season, and I guess quite a few of us here in the room are paying Netflix to see this thing. So there is an audience that wants great content. So what's next? And that's probably the hardest question to answer. Refusing to make games that manipulate people, I would really love to know the answer. And what I will do at this show, like every year, I will talk to as many people as possible and find the ones that maybe have found a way to reach the audience with premium content and make a business model out of that. And that's probably the biggest thing that we need. We need premium distribution channels. We had a few before, like on the web, like with the initial App Store, and they're gone at the moment. And any entrepreneur that is out there to give an audience that obviously wants good content and is willing to pay for it, and it's not 100%, it will be 10 or 15% of the audience, I think this person is going to be very successful because people are also not happy about not finding good stuff. So we need content without manipulation and ads. We need to go back to where we were, and it was good. And it will be a niche in the market, but a focus and great gameplay, and not A and B testing and see where the people spend their money at the moment, but just give them a great pastime, is something with a bigger future than free to pay. And this is something I'm very, very convinced of. So what we have to do in these dark ages as respectable game designers, we really have to be on the lookout. We know that the free-to-play ship is sinking. It will not disappear, but it is imploding at the moment, thanks to the audience. And we really have to be on the look. Where are the new business models emerging and how we can reach the audience again? And I'm pretty sure that in a couple of years we have a different mix of people here and we have more respectable game designers back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thorsten, and beautiful slides. So I'm pretty sure that if you go back years before free-to-play really emerged as a legitimate business model, you find games publishers who, the ones that were successful and are still around today, have market caps in the billions of dollars, and the ones who weren't died off. And making money off of people isn't new. If you go to AMC or HBO or Netflix and you talk to these people who create the broadcast content. Right now, the big question they're asking themselves is, how do we monetize the second screen? How do we get even more money out of the people who are enjoying our content? So I ask you, making money isn't new. Maximizing profits isn't new. What free-to-play is doing is not new. They just do it faster. So where is the Rubicon? Where is the line that separates moral, good, decent, ethical business and the evil that you were describing?
Thank you. That's a very easy question to answer. If you like in the movie business, or if you do a TV show, if you create content to do something great to an audience, if you want to give something appealing to an audience, if you give them a great pastime, if this is what you go for, if you create entertainment content, then you're not evil. If you create entertainment content thinking about how can I trick people into paying as much as possible, and how can I monetize my audience rather than giving it good entertainment, that's evil. Easy answer.
Thank you very much. Open the floor to questions. We've got a roaming microphone. Or we don't. Here, you can have my microphone. Cue the Benny Hill theme song.
So, the supercut you did of that South Park episode, I mean, the position there would seem to be that free-to-play, freemium, whatever you want to call it, it's inherently going to end up in a place where you are manipulating people because you're drawing the way games are monetized. I mean, this speaks to what you were just saying, that you're no longer sort of like an alchemy where you just have to try and make something that appeals or resonates on an emotional or experiential level to get money. You're drawing that into the game itself. So your position is that there is no way of doing a free-to-try game with monetization built into it that doesn't end up in a manipulative place that, from a development perspective, is not where you want to be working.
I'm sure if you understand here. Of course, you can do a free-to-try game. We had for ages. We had shareware with Doom like 20 years ago. That was free to try. It's completely there, and it was always about creating great content and a great game, giving the people a taste of it, how the game is, and what they're going to get if they pay, and that's something completely different. If I'm trying to trick my people into ideally spending $400 or $500 in a game like Clash of Clans per month.
But in that example, it's still a matter of someone just paying one price for the whole thing or a chunk of the whole thing, as opposed to monetization built into the game itself. That's the thing that's evil. That's the Rubicon.
Well, there's different models where you can, for example, if you go to an arcade machine and you put in money after every game you have, that is something where you pay something and you get a certain product, but it's still about good gameplay, but it's not about creating a game to manipulate people to spend as much money as possible. I mean, that's quite easy to understand, I believe.
Alea iacta e. That's what Caesar said as he crossed the Rubicon. That's Latin for fuck it.
First of all, thank you, good sir. You definitely see through the shade. And my question is, you said about the kind of a premium channels for the mobile games. We have such premium channels in the big gaming, like Steam on PC and PSN and stuff like that. How do you imagine such channel on the App Store? Is it going to be independent from the Apple, which is impossible, or is it going to be like a big publisher that takes on every premium good games out there and sell them from its name?
Unfortunately, I know the situation at Apple quite well, and I just had a phone call last Monday, and I have a pretty good view on how the thinking is at the App Store at the moment, and at least for the next year, nothing will change. There's quite a few people that think that freemium is a fantastic business model, and that's just the way they have to go. And if you look at the guys that are responsible for the search algorithm, if you look, for example, at the iPad search, you can look for only free games or for games, and in both cases you will only get displayed free titles. So I think it's kind of a change that needs to happen, and that's something that we need to wait for. like with call-in shows or other business models that at some point the audience got sick of. And they're getting a lot of feedback, like the feedback I'm giving today, or you see in a South Park episode, or many articles or discussions that even include government regulation, which is something that we should not go for. But at some point, it will be the audience that looks for the content, and it will be the entrepreneur that is able to deliver that content. What you can do without relying on Apple or other app stores as well out there is really to create platforms, and that's something that we eventually really need, where people can go and know, I'll find good content and then link it back to the app store. The people at Apple won't like it. That's something, as long as you're not in the app world, but if you use web-based platforms, that's nothing where they can really do something against. The best thing, if somebody creates a platform like that, is being bought by them at some point. So, but yes, we need it, and it's there to come still.
Okay, good questions. Anybody else? I think we have time for one more. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks
the Thorsten
RAUSER.
RAUSER.